WA, and I'm acting leader of the Greens. Like all of you, we were horrified at the sight and the vision that was beamed around the world over the last 48 hours or so of the horrific chemical weapons attacks on the Syrian population, inflicted more than likely by their own government. Such attacks on civilian populations, or attacks using these weapons at all, underlines the importance of developing and then enforcing international agreements and conventions banning such weapons of mass destruction. And as recently as yesterday, Foreign Minister Julie Bishop was calling for an immediate UN Security Council resolution setting up an independent investigation into this atrocity, and that was a call that the Australian Greens supported. But now, of course, US President Donald Trump has launched nearly 60 cruise missiles into a Syrian airfield, which probably removes all possibility of such an independent investigation occurring. It is likely to harden Russian attitudes and bring the Russian government even closer to its allies, the Syrian authorities. It effectively means that the US government is now fighting on both sides of the Syrian civil war. And predictably, Australian politicians, first the Prime Minister and then the opposition leader, fell into line, showing again that Australia has no sense of an independent foreign or defence policy. We are greatly concerned that this escalation of the violence in Syria will do absolutely nothing to protect the citizens of Syria, which ultimately are the ones who've suffered so much in this appalling civil war. This is only day one, and we don't have any confidence at all that President Trump or the people around him have any idea at all of what it is that they're getting into. There are already reports that the principal beneficiaries of this cruise missile strike are obviously Al-Qaeda and ISIS. Senior US government officials are now saying that the cause is regime change, which will sound familiar to anybody who opposed the US invasions of Iraq, interventions in Afghanistan and Libya. And it is as if those in the US government now working for Donald Trump have simply learned absolutely nothing from the recent history of US military interventions in the Middle East. If Australia were to be exercising any kind of independent foreign policy, we would be working with like-minded countries, those within the region, Syrian civil society, such of it that still exists, and other actors around the world to de-escalate the conflict rather than simply piling in more munitions. We would be doing a lot more than we presently are to take care of the people who are fleeing the horrific civil war in Syria, rather than demonising them when they try and come to Australia. This situation will obviously continue to develop rapidly, and it looks as though the Greens are going to be the only ones in the Australian political context who are going to be speaking up for demilitarisation and de-escalation of this horrific conflict. The Greens do not agree with President Donald Trump that the best way to bring the bloodshed in the Syrian civil war to an end is with American cruise missiles.